Hello everyone. So today we're going to continue with our previous project, that is the focus flow. So what we did yesterday was simply get this just the authentication where you log in, you register your account, you log in, then you log out, then you can also have a profile, just something simple authentication. So this is what we built yesterday, and outside today we're going to we're going to improve the project and make it much better by making it scalable. That is, we're going to deal with the Flask blueprints. For those who are not familiar with Flask, Flask is a backend framework for Python. So yeah, let's see. Quick start. I say quick start Flask. It takes me to the documentation. Oh, quick start. Ah, I'm lost. It's this actual, but then just have to go to the first one. Yeah, here. Let me just go to blueprints. Where is it? Yeah, blueprints and views. Yeah. So see, that is how the layout of the project will be, like that. So this will be the Flask. Is that init? There's db. There's the SQL. The auth.py that handles the authentication. Block.py. This one handles the code operations. If we're going to build a block, that means it will handle the authentication and not authentication, sorry, to handle the CRUD operation, that is adding, editing, and all, creating and deleting contents. Then templates. Inside the templates we have the base. Explained that yesterday, why the base is being used and why it's important to use the base.html. Then here we have the login and the register. That one where we have the if you see login.html, register.html, what comes to your mind is that these are the templates that handles the login and the register pages. Yeah, so that is it. There's not much to think about here. So the blog handles the create, as I said earlier, create, then index, I think it's the home page, then update, also something of that kind, then styles.css is for styling the templates, then tests. Yeah, so these are for the tests. So the test block, test auth, test db, test factory, the data.sql for SQL, the configuration test.py. Yeah. Then we have this, that is our virtual environment. Then this is for deploying. Then we have that manifest.in. Yeah. These ones will come later now, but for now when you're starting, you just focus more on this. That is what you focus on. Later you can now use the tests, test, and then as this too. And don't forget your virtual environment. That is the first thing. Okay, if you're using version control, the following files are generated by running your project. Yeah, so these are the files you store inside your .git now. You have the instance, you have the PyCache, PyTest cache, the .coverage, HTML conf, all these ones will be stored. Since you don't want it, like if you're using version control, you don't want these contents to be like public or deployed. When someone else clones your project, you find that they will end up possessing all of this when they clone. And the thing is, these files, it's not you that creates them. when you run your application, I think it's only this, the virtual environment is where what you create, but the other files, these are files that come as a result of they come as a result of you running the application. There's no need of pushing them online, because when someone clones your application, they are definitely going to get this. They are going to get these files, files and folders, since they will be running the application. Okay, so we have this application setup. Okay, so this app, I usually talk about it when I'm creating the projects. You see, this is an instance of the Flask class. There's that class that you import. You be like, from Flask, it's here. The first thing to do from Flask, import this class first. So this app is the instance of this class. Or this just it can also be called the object. This is the object there. In object-oriented programming, these are called objects. These ones there, the instance are called objects. Okay, so everything about the application safety configuration. This class, okay. Instead of creating globally, creating inside a function, we have the init. Get all of this. Okay. So you see how the blueprint comes. It starts from here, the way how you divide your applications. Then we have the db.py. You have the creating of tables in SQL. Okay, you have db.py, register with the application. Okay, so see, this is where the blueprint starts. Here, this is what we are going to be doing to focus on that, blueprints and all that. So let's see what we can do with our application. So we're also going to be using Bootstrap. Let's see, Bootstrap. I think that is how they spell it. Yeah, Bootstrap. Let's see. Bootstrap. Okay, I click. I've not clicked. Let's see. Bootstrap. Let's see. So we're going to be using Bootstrap for some styling, like the forms. We're going to style our login, our register, and then the home page. We're going to be using Bootstrap. I like the dark mode. And if you go to auto, it will just detect your what do you call the mode, yeah, in your for your system. Then it gives you. Since I have dark mode in my system, then not actually system, but the Microsoft Edge, it's dark mode, so it will just remain dark. Then when you go to light, you have this, but this one is shouting, so I don't want that. So I'll stick with the dark mode, much better. Yeah. So we're going to be using Bootstrap. For Bootstrap, you don't have to worry about anything. The full documentation here gives us all the basic things, basic knowledge that we're going to be using in our project here. For those who don't know about Bootstrap, then sit tight, put on your belts, and get ready for the journey we're going to be building using Bootstrap. I'll show you all the steps to get started with Bootstrap. It's not that hard. You'll see the beauty of Bootstrap. So let's get started. Okay, let me locate my application, my folder, the one we used yesterday. For those who want the source code for the focus flow, it's available on GitHub. You can check out the link to the repository in the live chat. You can check it out, and yeah, you can go to GitHub and you find full code, yeah, source code, and start the project if you like. Yeah, so that is it. Let's get into practical instead of talking too much. Okay, let me just clean up my terminal. Okay, so let me look for my folder. Remember it being here. See, it's auth. So yeah, let's go to the mini. So I gave it a name called mini auth, mini authentication, something of that kind. So let's activate our virtual environment. To activate a virtual environment on Windows, you start with the name of the virtual environment. Then after, you go to scripts. And after, activate, just like that. Then you click enter. Then you'll see some indentation here, which simply tells you that you're already inside the virtual environment. Okay, so let's run the application. You start with Python app.py. Okay, it's running. Yeah. Then you hold the control key on your keyboard and you click on this. If you, for some people, they will go on their browser and they type. Yeah, they can type that HTTPS. But if you're lazy like me, HTTPS is it 127.0.0.0, oops, like that. Is it the one? Yeah, see. Oh, there's that one, not even the S. Yeah, it's called the loopback. Yeah, loopback address, something of that kind. Yeah, see, when you do that, it will work. But if, as I said, if you're lazy like me, just hold the control and you click on it. It will take you to the side. So that is our application that we developed yesterday. Then when you click on home, you see you're in the home. Then you have two options here: login, register. Since we had an account yesterday, and come to login. Then we had, is it John? Yeah, our account was John. Then you say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah, that was our password. A very dangerous password. Yeah. Direct can be guessed. Login. Yeah, we are in. So we are in. Then you see the changes here in your what can I say? That is our navigation bar, by the way. So there is that change. You see that it was login, register, and home. Now it's profile, home, then logout. So you click on your profile. Yes, we're actually in the profile. So when you go to home, this is where you see welcome to this. This is a simple Flask authentication application. Then when you click on profile, you're taken to welcome to auth app. You have successfully logged in to the application. Yeah, then you can click logout, then you're out. But for now, it's only the logic and the basic template that is functioning, but the UI and the looks is just, it's not all that. So we're going to work on that. Don't worry, we're going to work on that. So let's see what we can do about that. So let's open our terminal. Going to close that. Then I think we have it here. Let me close this. I open new one. But that way, just have that new. Okay, so let me give some increase here. Okay, so that is our application. Now let's start working on the we're going to start working on the blueprints. But to work on the blueprints, what we're going to do here is that we're going to relocate some of the relocate some of the applications to different places. Like, let me just give an example here. You see our app, the way our app is, it contains all the contents. We have the configurations, we have the models, we have the, what do we have again, the views, we have the authentication views, all in one place. So we're going to relocate those, put them in other places. So let's do that. Let's do that. So the basic template or project folder, let me just say project folder. The basic project folder we're going to have is, we're going to create a folder called app. Let me just do that. In our root folder, we're going to create a folder called app. So there's folder called app. Now that folder is going to contain the functionalities, the logic, of the application, the views, the models, and all that. They're going to be inside the app, the configuration. Then in the root folder, we're going to have something like it can be the entry point where Flask is going to run from. So this is what we're going to have. Now inside our app, so we're going to work on the terminal now. Inside our app, so let me just seed into the app. Inside our app is where we're going to be having now the contents. So inside here, we're going to have something called the auth. Now the auth is going to only handle the authentication, that is logging in, registering for registration, and then log out. So as I said yesterday, we wanted to create a scalable project, so that when we want to improve and develop more features in the near future, then it will be much easier for us than to just file everything in the same file. If you file everything in the same file called app.py, then you'll find that later when you want to scale, we'll end up with like 500 lines of code in one single file. Our work will just not be smart. So we wanted to distribute to each, like we need to say that authentication, go to your own region, the views, go to your own region. Then when we want you, then we're going to call for you. But if we don't, stay where you are. I think that is the best way. So let's do the practice instead of talking. So we have inside, we have the auth. Now inside the auth, we're going to be having the routes and the forms. Now here we are going to get something called Flask WTF. Something, just forgot what it was in full. It deals with the forms. It's here. See, some web something there. So Flask WTF is an extension of Flask that simplifies the integration of WTF forms library in to Flask application. It provides tools for creating, validating, and rendering forms in a structured and secure way. Here's a quick breakdown of its features. We have form creation, validation, CSRF protection, file uploads, capture integration. Okay, so look what this WTF can do. It can really do great things. And look, it does the form creation. It simplifies the creation of form using Python classes. You use Python to create forms instead of, like, in fact, in your template, you don't even say, you see, when you're creating forms, you go and you look for the input, the labels and all that. But here you not. If you use the forms, just call the forms. The forms have their own labels and the inputs. So you just need the form tag. Then inside, you can just have the WTF playing around inside there. So it simplifies the creation of forms using Python classes. Validation, there's something for validating the email and the username. I think validating emails, yeah. Then CSRF, I think that is cross-site request forgery. Yeah, I think cross-site request, CSRF in full form. Yeah, this is some malicious thing. Cross-site request forgery. Yeah, the full form of this, it refers to the type of attack that tricks a web browser into executing unwanted actions on a web application where the user is authenticated. So we don't want that. We don't want our users in our application to end up getting, like, becoming victims of some attacks and all that. So well, WTF forms can help us with that. Yeah, got us covered. File uploads in the near future. If you need to upload files, then yeah, it will also be there to help. Then this reCAPTCHA. I think most of you have come across this this, I don't know whether it's called, is it reCAPTCHA? CAPTCHA. That is the when you're told to verify whether you're a robot or not, then you're given those images. Yeah. So for those who don't know, it's here. Yeah. This is the famous icon. Yeah. Once you just see that icon, you'll be like, oh, I've seen it somewhere. reCAPTCHA is a free service provided by Google that help protect websites from spam and abuses by distinguishing between human users and robots. Yeah, so we have experienced that. Yeah, there are times you do the right, you like click on the boxes where there's a motorcycle and all that, and still they'll tell you no. Start asking yourself, am I human, or this technology is just playing around with me? Yeah, so that is just brief knowledge about the WT forms. Yeah, so it's called WT forms plus WT forms, but in short, WTF. Okay, so that is it. We're going to do that. That is where the forms.py comes in. Then let's see what we can do. Now we go inside the auth. We're going to go step by step. So for now, don't be like, whoa, what is going on? No. Shall be going step by step until the end. Then here is where we're going to start creating the file. So here we're going to have the routes. Then we're also going to have the form. Let me just do that. Yeah, that we have that. I think how many profile, this, and this is fine. So here, let's just say code. Let me just say routes. Routes.py. So these are the routes for the, let me just routes for authentications. Let me just say, that is to say, in essence, login, register, and log out. Yeah. So this is where the login, register, and logout will be handled. It will be here, safe, far away from the rest. Then the next one is going to be forms. Dot UI is what it will handle now. The forms for just if you hear the word forms, that means there's some fields that you need to plug in something. Yeah. So that is what is going to be in that forms.py. Okay. Here we say handles there. Handles the, what can I say? The forms for authentication. That is it. There's no other way. Authentication. Yeah, handles the forms. Then there's something that you need to put here. Now later you're going to be importing the auth, or you're going to be importing the app to other like you're going to import the app folder to other files outside now, maybe to run it, or you can even import it to the config. Now in importing stuffs, when you import something it becomes a package, but then in order for something to be called a package, there needs to be something called the init. So when you have the init, inside that same folder is that file, becomes a package. Yeah. So when you create the init, we're not going to do anything. You can just say nothing here. Nothing here, just making the app a package in this project. Yeah. If you don't do that, it will give you an error to be like, unrecognized, I don't know. But if you have that in it, to be like, oh, so you're telling me that your package, okay, come, go through. It's just like it like checking in the it at the gate, be like, oh, who are you coming for? You'll be like, I'm coming for John. They'll be like, there's no John here. So they'll refuse. But if they find the init, they'll be like, oh, come, go through. We know you. So that is it. So we are done with the auth. So we have our routes, forms, and then we have the init. Okay. Now let's go to the other part now. What are we going to call it? If this is the auth, because in our app, inside the app is where we shall have the logic of both the authentication and the functionality of our application. So the other part, we can either call it, because now the app name is, we have already renamed a folder called app. We can call it, either call it main. Main can be just for anything, or any other name. You can call it any other name, but for now let's just stick with main. So this main will handle the remaining parts of the application, like the home, profile, one we are redirected to. This is where this part will be. This will handle. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Now in the main, we're going to ask ourselves. See, before you do something, you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? So in the main, what do we need? Like, what do we need? Do we need routes? Do we need forms? Do we need this? Do we need this? So let's ask ourselves. Just like for the auth, for the authentication, we had the init, we had the routes, and we had the form. We come back to our main and ask ourselves, do we need forms? Are there inputs? Are there fields that we need to put something? From just the project we built yesterday, we come to the conclusion that no, we didn't want anything to do with forms and all that. We're going to keep that aside for now. What we want now is to get our project with blueprints up and running, just like we did yesterday. So we're not going to do forms. So we're going to cross form out of the list. The next thing, do we need routes? Of course we need routes, because when you don't have routes, where will you redirect? Let's have the routes code routes.y. Okay, routes is ready. So let's just say handling the routes for the application. For the application, handling the routes for the operations. Yeah, these are just comments. Operations in our application. That way. Okay, so let's continue. This will be handling the routes. That is the, for now let's just give that IA. Let's say profile home. Yeah, these are the two things we need. Then we're going to import it somewhere, so we need the init. I already explained why we need the init. Init.py. Okay, so just copy this line. Well, we are borrowing now, we're not stealing anything from there. We are just borrowing. Okay. So I think we are done with the setup in here. Yeah, we are done with the setup in here. Wow, we have a very big problem. I think we have a problem. Yeah, we have a problem. Okay, let me see. See, when we look into the main, there's nothing inside main. See, these are the issues. Sometimes you'll have errors. You may not like enter any directory, and then you end up like, you'll be like, I'm running this application, I'm importing this, and it's not working and all that. See, the problem is we did not create the files inside that folder. So let's just move it inside. We move routes inside the main. It's inside now. Then we also move init inside main. It's inside. Okay, so now see, when you click on this, they're inside. Okay, it's okay now. The third step is now we're going to get our templates, because you can do your logic, but then we need to display it. Like, you need to render something out so that the users can see and they take action. This is where the templates come in. Now let's create a folder called templates in the root folder of the app. Make the templates. Or we can just move that template inside here. Let's just move out of this. We can move this template inside. Okay, you're complaining of power. Okay, so let's move this template that we created inside the app. Let's just move templates inside. When you see here, it's not, the template is not available here. Let's go inside the app. Yeah, we have the templates here, but inside the templates, we're going to see inside the templates. And we're going to also remember what we are doing. We are trying to create something that is scalable, that later we can improve it much better. We don't want to just create something. We actually created it the first time. Let's just do it. Then we try to improve it, but later we can build it bigger. Yeah. Now here we're going to also do some separation here. The only thing that is going to remain here is a file, is the base, but the rest, they are going to go somewhere. The same thing here we're going to do. We make the auth, then we're also going to do make the main. Yeah. So we have now the auth and the main. Then we are going to move the login inside the auth. We're also going to move the register inside the auth. like that. So now the auth folder will only handle the authentication template. Then the main will also handle the other templates that our app will be operating. Okay, so let's move our home to the main. Then let's move our profile to the main. As I said, the only file that will remain inside this templates folder is the base. Then we inherit from it and all that. Okay, I hope we are there. So we are moving. So let's see what we can do. We have this now. Our project folder is taking shape. We can add another one. So this one is just optional now. It's for styling in CSS in case we need to style something small there. We can have our, I think we created the static, did we? No, I don't think so. No, we did not create. So let's just make it here. Say static. Just it's just for just in case we are going to have CSS, because as I said earlier, we're going to be having a Bootstrap. We're going to style in Bootstrap. So here, authentication, main, static, and then templates. That is good. It's fine like that. Now what we are going to do next is maybe create. Okay, so remember the init. We say it when you're going to import the routes. When you're going to import the routes here or the forms, you need it to be a package to be identified. So we put that in it, but there's nothing inside the init. So here we are also going to import the app. We're going to import the app somewhere else. That means we need to create the init. We create that and just say okay, make it package. To avoid errors later, let's just set up our environment. Okay, let's see. Okay, that is our tree, the project structure. Okay, so this. Hey, it's looking good. Yeah, looking good. Any other thing that we are going to have in the app directory? I think we're going to have something called in the DB. Yeah, the database. We're going to have the database, but for this time we're going to have only something called models. Models.py. We're going to have it here. This one is going to handle. We have don't worry about that. We have our models ready. It's just that we're going to copy it from where it was. It's here. Our model is here. This until here. We're going to copy it and bring it here. Let me just go back to the handles. Yeah. Models are there. Then here say that our application for this app folder is good to go for now. For now it's okay. So let's just cd out of this. Here we have the virtual environment, we have the app instance, get ignore. So these ones, these two, get ignore an instance. Don't think about them, just leave them the way they are. These ones, for get ignore, it stores our virtual environment and other stuff that we don't want to be displayed public, and this is where the database is. So our app is what we created. This is our virtual environment, going to remain here. Then requirements, we're going to add some stuff in the requirements. Then readme, that one just is for the documentation. Then app.py, Now here we're going to have something called config code config py. Yeah, we're going to have the config where we shall have the configurations. We have the configurations ready in the app.py. We're going to transfer them here. Handles, configurations. Yeah, there. So any other thing we create there, the entry point where we're going to run our application. Code run, we're going to say python run.py or run.py entry run application. Yeah, that is it, the endpoint for running the application run.py. And now the rest, let's see the instance app.py. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start by moving the contents of our app.py to, we're going to move it to its various locations. So this time we say goodbye to our terminal and also remove that. I don't know whether this is visible. I think that is much better. Now let's go to our app. So we start with our config, the configurations. The configurations, it starts from here. Where is it? This, yeah. It's all of this. But we're going to change something slightly because this instance of the class Flask class is not going to reside in the same folder as our configuration. So this instance is going to be inside the run.py, and this is going to be inside the configuration. So it's going to be in two different files. So we are going to do some slight changes. We're going to remove this app. Yeah, it's going to start with config, and let's see how we can do that. So let's just copy this. I think that is it, and we can plus other stuff that we are going to add. Let's copy that. Then we go to our config. Where are we? Inside the run. There we are here. So inside the config, what we are going to do is, remember we have a secret key. We have the database URI. We have the track modification for SQL. So since we have those, we're going to interact. We're going to store our key inside the .env in our project folder. We don't want to just put it blank here, so we're going to interact with our operating system. So we're going to import the OS. Then another thing that we are going to be importing is the date time. Yeah, we're going to import from datetime module import time delta. Yeah, then the base directory that we're going to be interacting with, we say os.path.absolute path. Then inside we have the os.path the directory name, the name. We have the file. Then here now we deal with the class config. Now here is where we're going to have our like we're going to have the configurations that we had in our app. Yeah. So these ones we're going to have it here, but I'll be removing this now. Okay, so let me just is that, is it control down, control all down arrow? Yeah, nice. Control all down arrow, it goes 3. So control all down arrow, that's how you make your life easy. So see what I'm doing, I'm killing many birds with a single stone. I've killed many birds with a single stone. Okay, so just do that. Okay, so our secret key, we're going to remember what I said. I said we're not going to have our secret key here. We're going to say os dot environ dot get. Then we have the secret key. We're going to get it. We're going to, that is the environmental variable. We're going to interact with our operating system. Then we get. But if we don't find it inside our environmental variables in our operating system, then we give it some like just a default like key. So we can just say my secret key here, but we are going to have it in our environmental variables inside the machine. If it does not get it, then it will take this. So make sure we have that. That is our secret key. Then the next one is the database URI. So let's see how we are going to get that. We're going to use the why am I forgetting? The OS module. Again, it's going to be OS dot the environment. We're going to get it again, the environmental variable. Then it's going to be a database URL. So if we don't find it, then we give it something else, an alternative. There's going to be SQLite. SQLite. Then that the 3 / plus os dot get os dot path, not get, dot join, os dot path dot join, then the base star, then we add the app dot db. So that is for our SQL Alchemy database URI. Then here we remove that. Then the SQL track modification is going to remain the way it is. Then now we are going to put something small. That is the cookie, or remember. Remember when we are creating our log, is it login? Yeah, we have that remember me. So that is, we are going to struct the duration of the remember. Yeah. I don't know whether I'm making sense here. So how long will it last until we remove it? Maybe the person is not coming back, so you don't want to just remember them. 7 days is enough for them. Okay, that is our what is it? Our config. Yeah, our config is good to go. Then let's see. After this, we shall now be going to this stuff, the other stuff, and all that. But we did not update our requirements. So we have the WTF, Flask WTF I think, yeah, as WTF. Then we have the email validator. Yeah, email validator, and then the Flask WTF. Nice. So these are the two additions. Yeah, going to have. Then let's pip install. We are going to install them immediately. Requirements dot no, not that. Requirements.txt. Yeah. So the ones that are available, they're just going to be like, yeah, satisfied. Then the ones that we have just added will be installed. Okay, let's give it some time. Okay, so as you can see, email validator installed, CWTF forms, email validator. These are the only things that were installed. You see requirements satisfied for Flask, SQL Alchemy, collecting, you see, and Flask login. SQL Alchemy, Flask login, satisfied. The workzak also satisfied. So the rest are the ones that were installed. Okay. Okay. So we are done here at this point. And I just no, let me not push my let me see. Okay, let me just git add, git push. Not git push, git commit. Let me just git commit. Updated project with the blueprints. Yeah, there. Whoa, there are a lot of changes. Git push. Okay. Git push. Okay, it's already up. Okay, things updated. Okay, our requirements is updated. Now we go to run. How we run our application. So here we're going to say from app. Yeah, from app import create app. So we're going to have something called create app inside our app. Then here we're going to say app equals create app. There. Then we now run it if. So for those who have been following, you're familiar with this. The if this. I've explained it like twice. Yeah. Why we use it. Why is it important? Then we say app dot run debug equals true. Yeah, there. So our app is running now. Okay. Then we now go to our init. So when we go to our init is where we're going to have the create. Let's go to it. Where is the init? A lot of inits here. Okay, let's see. I think it's this side. Let's just open it from there's that. It's in the folder. Yeah. Okay. So it's that. So here we're going to say from Flask port Flask. Anything that we're going to import here? I don't think so. Then from Flask SQL Alchemy. I think that is the spelling. Yeah, import SQL Alchemy. Yeah, that the spelling Alchemy. But in case it's not the spelling, then it will flag us later and we come back to it. So let's continue. From again, we try the Flask login. Flask login. We're going to import just like yesterday. Here we're going to use the login manager. Login manager. Then the last one from config. Yeah, now the config. Import config. The one we created for the configuration. So now here we are going to now instantiate the DB, the database. So let's see. We go to our app. Yeah, see this. Where is it? The DB. Yeah, this one. What we are going to do. We're going to instantiate. Yeah, we're going to instantiate the database. So let's do that. Let's copy this. We go, where is it? Where are we? Here. Yeah. But since our app is not available, so we're going to remove those. Yeah. And then here, our login is located inside the auth dot login. Yeah. Because here you see it's inside the auth. Then now the routes login. It's not just the login, it's inside the auth. Then here we can just say we can add something that is login manager dot login message. Yeah, login manager dot login message. Then please log, just to like give them that, just like, is it direct, not direction, but information. Yeah, please log in to access this page. Let's save that, and we're going to start now with that. Remember the create app that I was talking about. It's here. So here it's going to have the config class equals now the config. Then here we have the app for Flask. Remember the instance of the Flask class is where we shall have it. Instance of the Flask class, we have it. Then we don't forget the name. So the name, it makes the contents accessible, all the contents of the Flask accessible to our projects. That is what the Danda name is. When I say Danda name, is double underscore name, double underscore name, double underscore. Yeah. Then we have app dot config dot from app dot config dot from object. Then we have the config class. I think we need this, supposed to be small here. Yeah, to avoid confusion, the capital there. Then the DB now, DB dot init app, then login manager dot init app. We also have the app here. Save that. So this one, it initializes the database and then makes the contents available. Like the first run, remember in our project yesterday, we created when we are running the application, we add that with app.context, then this create all. Yeah, so the first run creates the tables, then from then it keeps on adding the contents. This is what we are going to be having here. Then now After that, we are going to register, because we are working with register blueprints. Here we're going to register our blueprints. Then the last one is we are going to return app, just like that. So we're going to register our blueprints here. When we create it that side, we're going to so as we create, we are going to be having the blueprints to be registered. But for now, we can just be like, okay, let's just do it. And yeah, so to do that, you say from, we're going to say from app, the folder app dot, then you see that we have the auth. Yeah. From app dot auth dot routes, we import auth bp, but it's not yet registered. We have not yet coded it that side. The same thing we can do from main dot routes, from app dot main, not app dot main dot routes, import the main blueprint. So that is the blueprint. So that is here we are importing. Let's just say here importing blueprints. Then now registering blueprints will be down here. Yeah. So here it will be now app dot register blueprints, app dot register blue. What is the spelling of blueprints? App dot register blueprint. Then we now say auth bp. Yeah. We do the same for app dot register. I don't know why it's not giving me that. There's that highlight, it comes, and then I just click on it. Yeah, just like this. But anyway, it will detect it when we run. Yeah. So we have already registered our blueprints. Now this, you see, now the beauty of this is, you see the create app is, we have imported it here. Now it's accessible to this. So that is the good thing about the working with blueprints for scalability. So you'll be like, go to your region, go to your region, go to your region. Yeah, I'm only working with this kind of people at this point. Yeah. Then we go to our models. Yeah, so we created our models yesterday. Let's go and pick our modules. Yeah, model is here. We have the class user, imported the user mixin, and then db.module id, the db.column, then we have the db.integer. So this is our column, the db.column. And now we tell be like, let our column only take integers, so the id becomes a primary key. Then we have the username, because we need only username and then password for authentication. We only need username and password to authenticate. That's why we have the username, and then the password hash. So I talked about the password hash yesterday. I explained. I'll be like, you see, have you ever asked yourself, you'll be like, on all the social medias, all the platforms that I log in with my password, do the software developers actually see my password? Yeah. So that is the question you should be asking yourself. Do they really see your password and all that? Yeah. For me, I have no answer to that. Yeah, there are things you don't even, it's like you don't even want to think about them. Let them just do whatever it is. Let me just enjoy my reels. Yeah. You enjoy your reels, you laugh. Yeah. In fact, a lot of people don't even log out. Just I don't know, there's that gesture of just coming out of the application. Then you're done. You come out of the application, done. You wake up, open the application, you're back to reels, just like that. There's no logging out, there's no logging in. Yeah. So yeah, so what took us there was the password hash. Yeah. So here we are not going to see our, okay, let this one be our application that people are going to be using. We're not going to be looking at people's password. The password are going to be hashed, so there will be values like characters, numbers, and all that, form of the password. Then now we create the column call for the username is going to be db.column. Then the name, of course, is going to be a string. Then how many strings, you have the limit. We just made, we be like, let it be 100. If there's the longest name, I don't think it will reach 100, but maybe there are names that are 100, but let's just say 100. The limit is 100. It's nearly impossible, for someone to have that 100 characters in their name, But if you do, then you contact us, and shall add more characters. Okay, the password hash, we have the db.column, db.string, the db.string. For the password, the password, I don't think someone will have a password of like 75 characters. Why? I don't think you'll even remember. So anyway, we made it as 100, so they are going to be strings 100. Then here we set the password, that is, we give it a, I talked of the self keyword. This self keyword is normally used when you have a method inside the class. So that is how, is like the culture or the standards. You'll be like, when you're creating any method, you have the self keyword as reference. Then now when you want a parameter, then you have the parameter there called password. So we're going to have a parameter called password, so that later when you're creating our routes, then we input the password or the field of the password as the argument to call this set password function. Wow. You don't understand? We shall get there. Then now we call the self.password hash, this one, the table, that table for password. Then we now generate the hash. So this generate is, we got it, the function, we got it from this worksup.security. We have generate password hash. So this password, generate password hash, let me see whether I can see real world examples from GitHub. Okay, let's just see real world example from GitHub. Password hash. Okay, so real world example of worksup security don't generate password. Okay, so define serialize the password. So this is just the, define password, this. Okay, these are just the real world examples of the generate password hash. But what I was looking for is, I was asking myself if there is the code, actual code for it, but I don't see it. But maybe we can check it. Generate password hash. Then we have the check password, return check password hash. Then we have this. Then we have the load user. So now this function here is going to load the user, and it will be like, where are we going to find the user? Then it loads us. We show it where to load the user from. So here we shall have the def keyword for the function, then the load user is the function name, then the parameter here we shall have the user ID. And now we have user.query. We are going to now go through our table. User.query the user ID. We're going to look for that particular user in the tables here called user. So now one may ask, why do you have the int there? What is the problem? Why did you put the int there? We put the int because when you have only the user ID, it comes in form of the string. And remember our ID here. What is it saying? It's saying db.integer. That means when you only have it like that, then you're causing a very big problem in a way that you have the right ID, but the table refuse. The table does no, I've not seen that ID anywhere around here. So you need to cast that int to it to make it an integer, so that when you go to the column for the ID, then the table will be like, welcome my son. Yeah. Okay, so this is our module. Let's copy that. I hope I've explained something about that. Yeah, I think that is now the second time I've explained. But anyway, where are we? We go to modules dot. Okay, so there. Okay, so we need to import some stuff. That's why you see this red. Is it red or blue? We have this, not blue, yellow. Yellow lines. Okay, so we are going to say from app import db. Then again we are going to import login manager. We have this. Okay, any other that we are going to import from? I think Flask login. Import login. From Flask login, we are going to import the user mixin. User mixin. Then now from exact.security is what we are going to import, generate, and then check password from. This name is another problem now. Let me look for it. Is it what? Okay, let me just go back. Let's go back to app.py. I have to copy this. Yeah, this name is just confusing. Dot security. So import, generate. Let me just copy this. To avoid errors. Actually, it's just borrowing. It's not copy. Then you go with this check password. Do that. Hey, I think we are good to go. So our models is fine. Any other authentication? So we are done with the outer parts. We have the init, we have the module, we have the run, config, all. Now let's go to our authentication. So we said here there's nothing will be here. Then we go to form. We come to our forms. This is where the fun begins. From Flask dot, not dot, WTF. So this is an extension in Flask for forms. We read about it earlier. So we install, we import the Flask forms. Then again from WTF forms import. We're going to import the string field. We're going to import the password field. Yeah, we only need the string and the password. Any other? Remember? Oh, the remember me. That means it's going to be boolean field. Any other thing? After putting in your name, password, check, submit. Yeah, submit field. Yeah, that is it. Let me check whether there's email. Oh, there's email field, but we're not going to be using email. But if you're going to be using email, then we import that email. App.modules import user. We're going to import the user. Then here we say we need the is it the login form, or form handling login form for handling, okay. Login here. Now we shall have the class. So in forms we have the class, we use the class login form. Then inside we are going to inherit, actually this login form that we are creating, we're going to inherit it. We're going to inherit the Flask form. It's inherited from Flask form. I don't know whether that is the right language, but if you know what inheritance is, then you'll understand that. That is something in object-oriented programming. OOP, yeah. And I usually say OPP, I don't know why. OOP. So we have the okay, now here we are going to have our fields. So in the forms, what you're going to do is to remember what fields you're going to have. Then you put the, like for example, if it's a string, then it will be string field. Then now in the string field, what is going to be inside the string field? Then you say it's going to be username. Then here is going to be validate, the validators. Then now we don't want the if you talk of form validation, that means you don't want users to like just maybe go to your website. In fact, they don't even put their name. You just go to password, logging in, done, just like that. How will you feel? Your system is just not good. Yeah, that is it. So you need to validate. If they don't put, you need to tell them no, you cannot just submit. You need to do something. So data required. So there's that validators in the form. So there's I think I what can I say? I've not imported the validators. That's why it gives me the WTF form dot validators. Yeah. So let me import the data required. That is one of them. Then there is the length. Then there is the email. There's email. There's equal to. There's validate error. I think we can go with the validate error, and then equal. We don't have email. We don't have the email, but in case we have it, we can come back to it. Now why is that is data, not date? Data required. So data required, call that. Then after that, we have the length. What's the length? We don't want like users to have a name that has only some particular like length or that. So we shall have the minimum. The minimum, it should be, is there anyone with 2-letter names? No, I don't think. Let me just say the minimum is 3. Your name should be 3. I think there are people with 3 names, 3-lettered names. Then the maximum can be like, let's just say 30. 30. I think that is okay. Then we come to the password. So here we're going to say password equals to the password field. Then we give that password. Then here we say the validators equals. Here we say the data required. Yeah, there. So we don't need the length. Yeah, we are not restricting people on the password because password is something that is hidden to you. We're not going to restrict you. So you'll have it there. But it's up to you to have the number of the letters or characters in your password. Yeah. Then another thing can be remember. Yeah, remember equals boolean field. Yeah, the boolean field. Then here shall have the remember me. this is what we are going to. So these ones are basically, you see this username, this password, and all this is what is going to be displayed there, like near the field, the box, like password. Is that it's just like a label, yeah. For those who see it and be like, what is that? That is just the label. Boolean field. Then we have the submit now. After that, that is for logging in. Submit equals submit field. Then it will be now login. So the submit field will have that writing called login. So these ones are just the writings, yeah. Writings. Yeah. Then we have again here something called form for handling what? The register. Form for handling register. Yeah. So let's see what we can do with that, or how we can deal with these. Okay, form for, then we say class what? Register form. Then we inherit from Flask form. So we're going to inherit it from the Flask form. Then yeah. So now we're going to be like, what are we going to have in our register? Now we ask ourselves, what do we have in our register? So in our register, we have username, and then we have username, we have password, then confirm password. Yeah, we can have that confirm password also. Yeah, that is actually a good practice. That is something we did not do in the previous version of this project. So our username is going to be string field. Then we have the user. This is just the label username. Then we shall have validators. Then we have the data required. We have the length. We have our length to be, I think, the same as the one up. We have the length. Here we say the min equals 3. Then max equals 30. Yeah, that is it. Password equals to string field again. Just password field. Why am I forgetting that? Okay, so it's going to be password. Then here we say validators. Have the data required. Yeah. Then confirm. You have the confirm password. You say confirm password and equals. You have password field. And inside we give it some name. So this is just simply the label on the form. And confirm spelling, yeah. Confirm password. Okay, confirm password. Then we have the validators, data required. Okay. Then we now use the equal. Equal to. So what is it? What are we trying to compare? What is it equal to? Equal to the password. Okay, password. Yeah. So we are going to compare it with this. If it's equal to this. Yeah, so that is the beauty of the Flask WTF. Yeah. We're going to compare whether this confirm password is equal to that. So we use the equal to do that. Then the last one is now click on submit. Submit equals to submit fail. Then now what is the name that you have there on the it can either be sign up, but to avoid people, let's just say register. Yeah, register. So that is it, just like that. Already worked on our forms. Then we can go further and validate the username. You'll be like, in case the username is like the username exists in the database, we don't want people to have like John again, there is another John, no. So if the username exists, then we're going to tell the user that this username has been taken. Yeah. So let's try to implement that. Validate username. Just before they create, we need to tell them that yes, your username is good to go. I think most times when you try to register to some websites with your username, then you find that username taken, then you have to add some letters, some characters. Just your name will not just be clean like that. There's someone with your name who had already registered. So we're going to have the validate username, then we have the username up there is the argument that we're going to manipulate. Then we say user equals to the table user dot query. We're going to now go through the table, then we filter by the username. Now we're going to say username equals to, not user, it's supposed to be username equals to username. Yeah, username equals to username. Then yeah, that way. So this way, you see this variable that we created is now giving us access to the user. This user here, it's giving us access to it in the table that we created in our modules. So that is it. Now let's check whether it's the same. If user, then what do you do? If user, then we raise something. So we say validate error. Then we tell them something. Say this username is taken. Please. It's just an information like for them. Yeah, giving them something like be like, no, username is taken. Please choose another name, another username. Yeah, that is it. That is if the user is available. So that is for the username, just like that. Then if we had the email, then we'll do the same for the email. So, but we only have the username. We are not having emails. But in the near future, we can incorporate emails, then work with them. Okay. So let's now go to the routes. We now go to our routes. We are left with the two routes for the main and for the auth. After that, we are done. But that is a long journey. Okay, so let's see models up. Okay, routes for auth, not for the routes for auth, authentication and routes. Okay, so let's see. We go back to our app. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, this is what we want. For the login, then for the register and log out. Login, register, and log out. Let's just copy this, then we try to manipulate it. There in our we're going to manipulate it that side. I'm going to copy this, and let's see, authentication routes. Nice. Here, why do we have that? Why do you have this error here? Oh, not an error, it's there's a change. Yeah, we have this. Now let's import some stuff. Flask, we're going to import Flask, import blueprints, blueprint. Then we have the render template, which we are going to be using to render our templates. Then another one is flash for the message, to give them that message when there is an error or something. Then redirect, URL for, and request. Yeah, request, redirect, URL for. I think, is it? Yeah, we're done, I think, with that. Then you need to also import from, is it modules? From modules, import user. Yeah, I think that. From modules, import user, or should I say app dot? App dot modules. Huh? Okay, so because it's inside the app, but it's fine. It will still work. From app, import db, so we need that. From, again, we're going to have from Flask login, import login user, then log out, user. Then we also have the current user. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Then again, what do we have? Any other thing that we need to import? In from forms, we need to import something. Say app dot auth dot forms, import the login form. Then we have the register form. Yeah, 1 2 3 4. We have the blueprint, we have the app for users here, the database, the db. Okay, yeah, I think that is it. The rest, if we find that we need them, then we shall call for them. Then we say auth. Remember the auth blueprint that we registered? It's here now. We are going to make it blueprint, and inside we are going to have it as auth, then danda name, then template folder, the template folder equals that, and previous. So that is the template folder for the where we can find the templates. We need to specify it here so that we don't confuse ourselves. So now when you see the two dots, the dot, it means the previous, like the folder outside this one. So we are inside the routes. See, we are inside the routes. It's trying to tell us that go outside in the auth. See where the auth is? Go outside in it. Then now look for templates. Now inside templates, go to auth, you'll find the templates for this. This is what it's trying to say. Yeah, that is it. So let's continue and see. Now here we are going to have some changes. So here we are now going to have auth dot, it's not going to be up now, it will be auth bp dot route, auth bp dot route. So these ones, most of them are going to remain the same. Let's just, if current user dot is authenticated, if current user dot is authenticated, then we return redirect. So when you open the web application, when you're authenticated, then it will just redirect you to main dot profile. It will take you to the profile. And you might ask, why do we have the main? Because it's inside this main. It's inside this main. We have this home and profile. That is the reason we are saying main dot profile. Okay, then let's start now. So form equals to the login form. So we make an instance of the login class. And now we now use the form, dot validate on submit. So this is simply trying to tell us that if the form is validated, like everything is in place, then do something. Yeah. So this is what we are going to do now. We are going to say user because user dot query. So what we are doing here is just checking whether the user is available. Filter by, just like we did here. This one is this. See, this part is what we are trying to accomplish up there. It's what we are trying to accomplish up here. Okay, so we say the username equals. So now the username that is like the user in the contents that the user inputs, we are now going to compare it with form dot username, the one that is in the form, form dot username. And now we say form dot username dot the data. Then so we see whether the contents that the user has input is similar to what we have in our database. Then if we have it, we say if user and user dot check user dot check password, then we say the form dot password dot the data. So if the password and the user name are the same, if password and username are the same, then we are going to allow the user to log in. So that is simply what this point is just trying to tell us. If the password and the username are the same, then we do some action. So we are going to say login user. Then now we shall have the parameter as user. Then we say remember equals form dot remember dot the data. So we are trying to log in the user, and then at the same time we are activating the remember, so that next time when the user comes in within the 7 days that we indicated, it shall just be like, okay, you're the one, please come in. That way. Then now what is the next page after that? Where are we going to redirect them? Next page equals to what we are going to do is we're going to have requests dot args dot get. Then we have, so after, because at this stage for login user, yeah, we tell the user after we check that hey, our user is around the that is correct. Then now we not want to take the user to the next page. What are we going to do? So we have the next page, and after that we give them some message. We flash them with login successfully. Yeah. So you're logged in successfully. Then the message here is going to be success. Then now after that, giving them the message, then we return redirect URL for. So now we are redirecting them. Then here we shall say we are redirecting you to, after logging in, you say main dot profile. I think, yeah, I think with this way we're going to redirect them. Main dot profile, we already specified it up here if the user is authenticated. Oh, the next page, look at me. We redirect them to the next page that we indicated. Yeah. Then we say if next page, so we redirect them if there is, if the next page is available. If not, then we else we now tell them that redirect URL for. Now that is confusing though. So if there's, we have not indicated the next page, then we now redirect them to the profile. That way, yeah, I redirect them to the profile. Wow, that is some headache there, real headache, not just some, real headache. Working with blueprints is a problem now. Yesterday without blueprints and all that, it was much easier. Okay, so let's continue. Then what if the user is not like, what if the user, we did not find the contents like resembling things we have in a table? Then we tell them something, right? What are we going to tell them? We're going to have the flash login unsuccessful. Login unsuccessful. Please enter the correct username and password. Please enter correct username and password. There. So when the contents are not similar to what we have in our table, then we do that. Tell them, please, contents are not right, to do something about that. Okay, after that, then we render our template. Render template. What do you have here? We're going to have URL for, no, so here is going to be auth dot login. Render template, that is auth dot login is for redirecting. Oh, it's going to be login.html. We specified it here, remember? Right, that we are going to find the templates here, that folder. Yeah. Okay, so login.html. Any other thing that we are going to have to render our form, to render in our template data. In the form, we are going to be having form dot username, form dot this, form dot this. So it's a form. So is this first one is what we are going to be using in the template. Then the second one is this. So we are assigning this form to this. We have to use it in the template. Yeah. Okay, any other thing? I don't think so. Okay, for the tutorial, just say login. This is what we are going to be using, like at the top. See, in your login, there's that space called title there. This is what we are going to use. You see, when you're, it's just here. Login template. Yeah. So this title, you see this. Just see it. Yeah. You see this login user? This. Oh, where are we? You see this login user? User login. That name, user login, that title is what now I had to come here to explain. That is the meaning of this title. It's okay. Now, then we have the register. Yeah, so register, we're going to start with the auth. Okay, let me just look at this. auth.bp equals that. Then now define register. Yeah. Okay, so we are now dealing with the registration. So we ask again if current user dot is authenticated, then we redirect it to authenticated, then we return direct URL for main dot profile. Yeah, when the user is authenticated, then we just redirect them. Okay, so form goes to, it's now time for the not recursive error register form. Then we ask ourselves if form dot validate on, just like for login, on submit. Okay, when the form validate.submit, then we add it to yesterday I talked of this. I say the first thing to do is to check whether all the users input all the contents. Then after checking, we take the information for the user, that is the username. Then we take the password and we hash the password. After hashing the password, then we add the user to the database. Then we save the database. Then we give the user information that your account has been created. Then afterwards, we now redirect the user to the login. And after redirecting the login is when the user puts in the information, and then you're inside the web app, just like that. So let's do that. What we're going to do here, we're going to say username. So we are collecting the information for the user. The username equals form dot username dot the data. Then another thing that we are going to get from the user is also going to be the password. So here we are going to say the password. We are also going to say user dot set password. So we are going to hash the user's password. So remember, as I was explaining the set password, I said that let's just fix this stuff. Say that the set password is taking the parameter called password, which we are going to take from the user input field, from the input field where the user puts in the password. So this is where now we are going to use it. We're going to say set. We call the method called set password, and then now we put this is where the input field will be the form dot password dot data. So that is the input field. So we collect that information from. Then after collecting the information from the user, what we do, we add the user to our database. Session dot add. Wow. Let me say user. Then after adding the user, we say db dot session dot commit. Then after that, everything is okay now. Then we give the user some information. Your account was created successfully. Yeah, just like that. Then it's going to be success here. Then after that, we return redirect URL for. So here we are going to say auth dot login. Yeah, so that is where we are going to redirect the user. After that, then after redirecting, we now render our template. So here going to be register dot html, and the title, I talked of the title some minutes ago. It means register, some can say sign up, yeah. But let's just stick to register. Then form, see the left hand side is what is going to be on the template, then form, then the right hand side is what is inside here in our logic. Then the last one is now our logout. So here we are going to have auth bp dot route log out. Yeah, that is it. So give that, we say log out. Then now here we just say log out user. We call this function. Then we now flash them. Be like you have been logged out. Not successfully, you have been logged. What is the spelling of logged? Be like that. Logged out. Now we say it's going to be info, just information. Then we redirect them. Where are we going to redirect them? Turn direct URL for. We're going to redirect them to, I think we shall redirect them to home. So it's going to be main dot home. Yeah, that way, just like that. So with this, we are done with our, let me just, we're done with our routes for the auth. So let's do the same for our main. And you go to our templates, and after our templates, we now start styling. Yeah, start styling. So if we don't finish that, then we shall finish our styling tomorrow. Finishing styling tomorrow. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Go to main routes. So these are our routes for main. Still blank. So let me just give the, it's going to be the same like the one we created yesterday. So let me just say from Flask import. We're going to import blueprint. We're going to import flash. Do you need flash really? No, there are no actions, so there is no flash. Any other thing that we need? I think we need redirect. Redirect or render? Yeah, render. Render template. Any other? We don't need requests. I think these are just basic. We are going to have two routes here. It's going to be the home, the profile. So there are no actions there. I'm not going to be too heavy. Home of Flask, login, import. On Flask login, import, login required. Yeah, actually I've not been saying login required there. So I'm going to go back. Yeah, been saying at login required because I had not even, did I? Whoa, I've not login required. Yeah, I've not imported that. Why? Login required. All these are okay. Logout is for login required. Cannot just go to logout. Then any other? Let me look into this. Let me get some. Yeah, this. Go here. Okay, so it's going to be for the home is going to be clean. It's only for the profile and then logout. Yeah, great that I got that. Okay, Flask login, we have the login required. Then what do we have next? We have the current user, so that later we can be like welcome, hey, welcome to this application, Mr. John. That way, we import that current user. Yeah, that is it. We're going to have our main blueprint goes to blueprint. Then here we are going to have it as main, then name, then template folder, equals. So this template folder is simply where our templates or where we stored our templates, that is the HTML. So we specify it up there. Then we start main bp dot routes. So this is for the home. Then home, there is no login required here. For here we have return, render template, home.html. Done. Just like that. If we need the title, then we might have to be like, in case we need it. Okay. Yeah. Then here we also have at main blueprint dot route. Then here we say profile, but then there's no here you only view. You don't fetch any information from the server. So the at login required. Then we have prime profile. Yeah. Then here now, what you'll be having here is the return. You render them. Render template. And inside you have profile .html. Then your title. Here you can say, what can I say here? Profile. That is it. So we are done with the logic of our application. The next stop is now diving into the templates now. So we are diving into templates to see how we are going to represent our templates that users will be able to interact with it. So let me just push this contents on GitHub. Updated project with blueprint. Okay, so push. Okay, it's gone. Now the first thing to do, we go to base. Close that. Okay, we go to templates and base. Everything is fine here. It's just that we need to add home. Is going to be main dot home. Then for profile is going to be main dot profile. And for logout is going to be auth dot logout. Then here also is going to be auth dot login. Here is going to be auth dot login. That is it. That is it. Okay. Okay, so let's check the rest. What if we have the messages? Let's check whether, which page was I working with? Those ones are not working. And relocate. Let me just close these ones. These are the ones I opened yesterday. Okay, so after base, I think there is the part for messages. If a message has been sent, so what do? Let me just see. Edit for see in main home. Does it have profile? I think it's in the login. Yeah, it's here, login and logout. So they have the part for the forms. So our home will have nothing. Yeah, we'll have nothing there. So then our profile, I think there's nothing much you can have in the profile. So the next thing we are going into is the login. This is where we are. We're going to have some serious formatting, serious one. Okay, so here after our forms, we're going to implement the, since we are, remember the WTF had the, we talked of the CS cross-site request forgery. Yeah, the CSRF. Yeah, so we have this form.hidden where it hides the contents, and then there's that CSRF token. Yeah, so it's hidden here so that attackers will not manipulate our form, get contents out of it. So yeah, that is it. Then we are going to remove all of this. We're not going to Yeah, all of these will be removed. All these, removing them, you don't need them. So the CSRF. Yeah. So let's just have our what do you call it, our fill. Yeah, just a fill, fills. Yeah, here. And now here we are going to render it. It's a form dot the label. Now the label is going to be for username, because username is the first. So our username is going to be username dot the label. Form username dot label. That way we do the same for form dot username form dot username. Then we so the first one is for the label, and then the second one is for that field, the username. Okay, so that is it. Then in case we have errors, we're going to do something. So let's work on that. So this part is going to be like if form dot username dot errors, errors of any kind, whether it's like a repeated name and all that, then we have to give the user some hint, be like, oh, you have something that does not belong here. So we say text, we're going to have a text there, and we collect the errors, that is for error in form dot username dot errors. Yeah, like that. So we end the for. So that is for people wondering why I'm writing Python code inside HTML. That is the Jinga writing engine for Flask. So it allows you to write Python code inside HTML. Then we now print the error. So to actually, it's let me not say print, to render a variable. So this one becomes a variable error. Render a variable, use this double brackets so that you can. That is it. Let me just have displays errors. Let's just say display errors. Then here you can have form dot password dot label. We can enhance them further with bootstrap, so we shall come to that. Dot password. Yeah, so that is it. That is for password. That is for password. Then when we also have the same, like the errors from the password, then we do the same. It'd be like let's say, why can't we say here to be username? Yeah, username field. Then this runs up here. It's only for the username. Then here we say dot password. So just like for styling, so that later when we are styling things will run smooth. That way. Then here we say we're going to copy this. Okay. Copying is not a good thing, copy paste, but let's just borrow that. Then we change this username to password. Then here we also say password. Any other password we have here? No password. Then we're now going to look at the it's going to be for the next one is going to be for remember me. We're going to have dot remember. So here we shall have form dot remember. Yeah, form dot remember. We're going to have that checkbox first, then we can have the remember label. Yeah, that way. So that is how we are going to have that. Then the final one is going to be the buttons. We're going to have the buttons. So the buttons for what? Going to be for submit. We're going to have that button for submit. So let's have something. Let's say we're going to have dot btn there. Then to avoid confusion with bootstrap later, let's just call it button. Actually, all these classes we are going to change it to bootstrap style. For now, we're just rearranging our work. So for the button, we're going to say form dot let's submit. Yeah, form dot submit. Form dot submit. There is it. Great. Form dot submit. So we can later enhance it into a button, like with the buttons in bootstrap and stuff. So any other thing, I think we can add something like, for example, when you see in most websites they'll be like, you have an account, you don't have an account, create here. So let's try to implement that. Okay, so it will be outside the form, so it will be text. So here we shall say just a small a let's just say .btn, which stands for button, and here this will be URL for auth dot register. Yeah, you can just say need an account. So you need an account, register. Just like that. Then we have here register. Yeah. So like that, they will be redirected to the register. To the register what? Page. Register page. Okay, register now. But don't worry, we are going to have all the bootstrap and styling in place. So, yeah, they will come. Then we go to, that is for the login. Then we go to register. Register, we do the same. We are going to remove these contents. We are going to have the same. Remember that message, forms dot message and stuff. Yeah, we are going to have it also for the username, for the password, for the confirm password. Then we can have, why can't we just copy? Why can't we copy? Remove this, then we need the CSRF one I talked of, to avoid the attackers from maliciously attacking our users. So we can have a dot username. So here we're going to have form dot username or dot label. Form dot username dot label. So let me just, this error was going very fast to the extent I had some errors. Just okay, so here be like displaying errors. So we say here for form dot username dot errors. Yeah, for forms dot, you see what you're trying to do here is that if there are errors anyway, like the username there is like who the username already exists or something comes up, then we need to inform the user. This is why we have this. So this we say if, so we say for all the errors. So actually we should not start with the for, it's supposed to be if. There's a condition, you need to first have a condition like if, then you do something. Now just exhausted maybe. Yeah, I'm exhausted, but let's just finish that. So dot next, and now we go through the error. So it'll be like for error in form dot username dot errors and for, then you render the error. That way. What was this for? Okay, dot password. Okay, let me now be quick and just copy this. Why can't I do that? For password, that's for confirm password. Confirm password. Okay, so here there's going to be password. Let me just rename everything here. Just copy that, do that. Okay, so this, use this style, killing two birds with one stone. Okay, password here, another one here, password. Any other? There's no password. Yeah, it's fine. Then let me copy this confirm password. Copy, put it here, Control Alt, then down arrow, then now shift to the right, and Control V. Confirm that. Confirm password. Yeah, it's fine now. It's fine. So confirm password is in place. Password is in place. What do you have next? We are left with the submit button, then the already have an account, then login. Okay, we can borrow from. Yeah, this. Let's copy that. The other one is going to be outside there. Copying stuff. Okay. Okay, text center. Then here I'll just say already have an account. Just like telling the user already have an account. You have an account. Yes. Then here it's login. Login. Yeah, login now. That way. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is it. Okay. Oh, I think that is our thing. That is our project. Wow, that's a lot. Huh? That's a lot. A lot. Now my head is just okay. We are done here. We have another step that we need to do. Ask. Well, we need to create our database. Let's enter inside the Flask shell. Give it some time as it runs. Whoa. Building a project alone is a problem. Okay, we are inside the shell. Flask shell. Inside the shell, you're going to say from app dot import. From app, you're going to import the DB. Then you're also going to import the create app. Yeah, you're going to create. Yeah, it's going to be these two. Okay, so when you click on it, there's no error. That means things are going well. And we say from app dot modules. From app dot modules import. We're going to import user. So that is our only table. Okay, things are going well. Then we say app. We're going to create an instance of the create app. Yeah. Okay, things are going well. Then now we say app dot, remember the one we said we had yesterday, app dot app context. Then no, app dot app context dot push. Yeah. Then the last one is going to be db dot create all. db dot create all. Now you see we're going to run this. Yes, yesterday we did it inside our app.py. We did not even mind, we just created it inside there. So when we ran the app for the first time, it created that table. But today we are going to create it inside the Flask shell. So when we did that, it's already created. So let's exit. Pop wrong app context instead of self this. Wow, we are getting errors. Huh? Now exiting code by table frozen. Whoa, we have an error. Okay, that means what we need to do, let's delete this. We delete that. I think conflicting because of it existing. So now git no other, we are going to have so all these contents we are going to take it away. All of this is going to be, so I've put the app.py inside there. Git ignore. So let's try to, let me just commit this, add, commit, push. Then let's try to run that again. Flask shell. Okay, so the first thing is from app import, from app import db, then create app. Yeah, so we are going to have the db and then create app. Yeah, I think that is it, two only. Then again from app.models import user. Yeah, then app equals create app. Okay, so app context, app context dot push, app context dot push. Then the last one is db dot create all. Okay, let's see our, okay, we have app.db created, editor. Okay, so we have our SQLite 3. So you see integer, the username, the password, and all that has been created. So let's try to exit now. Whoa, it gives us that error. Let's now try to run our application. Hey, whether it will run. It's running. It is running. Oh, welcome to all. Welcome to this. Application is up and running. Application is up and running. Let's see our login. Okay, auth is undefined. Where? This line. Okay, we had some errors. Render template. Okay. Auth is undefined. Let's go back. Register. The same. None type has no attribute. Encode. Where is it? User dot set password. Register. Yeah, we have a lot of errors here. A lot. So we need to solve that. We need to solve those errors. So let's find a way. Let's find a way of solving our errors. Okay, we go one by one. We start with this login auth. So here we have the 928 login. We now log in. What was it? Let me just routes.py for authentication. Auth. We have this auth. Routes.py. Line 28. Line 20. So here is our problem now. It's telling us that auth not found. Why? Let me try to put the it auth that. Okay, extends base dot. Okay, base.html, then this auth.register. Undefined error, auth, find error. Auth is not where. Where? Hmm? Routes. Let's look for the error. Look for the error. It says auth not found. Oh, we had not specified here. Auth. Yet. Auth not found. Wow. Wow. Did we generate errors for ourselves? Wow. Auth not found. Oh, it's talking of this auth folder. Templates. Is it called templates? Let's just look for. Might be a typo. The name. Typo in the name. Or be in any of these. Whoa. Let me revisit the error again. It says undefined error. Define error. Yeah. Define. Wow. What could be the issue? Looking for errors. The big issue. Oh. Okay, extends. This one is fine. And both the how can I say, both the register and the login all both the register and the login are all giving us errors. Huh? Is another issue. Okay, is that top level in it? Can we whoa. That's a lot. That's a lot. My head is now wants to just burst. Wow. Wow, I think I will have to fix this. I'll have to fix this tomorrow. The next live stream, yeah. I'll have to fix this tomorrow. Because now my head is just telling me no, 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 no. So tomorrow we'll be fixing the errors. Then we also style our we're going to style our we're also going to style our project, that is the application with we're going to use Bootstrap. Then yeah, we see how we are going to transform. When you finish it, then we decide whether we want it to be a to-do list or we want to transform it to a block, or yeah, just anything. Yeah. We can take it further to another level. Yeah. So with that said, that is it for today. That is it for today. Thanks for everyone who has joined. Appreciate that. And I will see you tomorrow, same time. Okay, everyone. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.